Making this video slash guide about how to be a good leader in Foxhole took me way longer than I wanted it to, because it can be actually quite difficult to actually define what the words good and leader separately and together actually mean. But for the sake of trying to help others, and maybe you that is watching, dear viewer, allow me to go into some sort of a video essay where I will go over some in-game situations with some videos, analyze them together, and attempt to compare them to how our complex, yet simple human nature reacts to these moments. The goal here with this video essay really being to analyze in-game behavior beyond just the memes of skill issue and collie versus ward mentality. And to my knowledge, only one other person on YouTube has touched on this leadership question. That is good, but I feel that his takes are only good for everything that is bureaucracy-wise, and do not really talk about the human psyche aspect of leading, and could do with more concrete video examples and more edits. Nonetheless, the link to his videos will be in the description below if you wish to check him out. All in all, I hope that this little video essay of mine here will make you better on the battlefield for your fellow soldiers. This presentation is based upon my own experience of 3,200 hours in this game, where I did everything you could possibly do in this game and had situations repeat themselves predictably, but also from my own personal interests into crimology videos such as Explore With Us and JCS Criminal Psychology, but also detailed history reports such as Kings and Generals and Historigraph, just to name a few. And lastly, people like Lindybeige who talk about the human psyche aspect on the battlefield. A few links to them will be in the description box below if you're interested. Of course, if you would like to share your thoughts on what was said here, whatever they may be, I welcome you to do so at the end of this video, because this subject does interest me a lot. Anyway, without further ado, let's try to understand what makes a good leader in Foxhole. The difference between iconography and practicality. Now, a leader is considered many things, but if I asked you right now, right there and then, what in your opinion makes one a good leader? I think your answers will be pretty varied, and the best thing is, I do not think any of you people would be really that far off or wrong with your definition for that matter. We could, however, also break it down the way I interpret it. The way of the practical leader, and the way of the iconographic leader that shines an aura of awe and respect, such as the many heroes of war past that the press used widely to encourage war support. So, let me ask you a simple question. Who do you think could be considered a leader in this game? You probably have multiple names popping up in your head. However, since I have only played the Colonials and do not know enough about the Warden faction, I will stick to my knowledge of the Colonial faction. So allow me to rephrase the question. Who would you consider to be a leader in the Colonials? I think that most people would probably answer Seed or Heimdall, as they are icons of the Colonial faction to many people. And you would be right, but you would also be wrong, you see. Because while they are giants that contributed a lot during the time that most people would lose their shit with when they are next to them, they are mostly known within the older veterans. Because you see, what if I ask you the same question, but this time, picture yourself as a brand new player. You just arrived in Foxhole a few hours ago and you have no knowledge of the past lore, you don't know anybody. Now, stripped of those icons, who would you answer? Well, the answer I personally think is rather simple. It is a person that Newbie has met while playing and looks up to for guidance and reassurance. But most importantly for them, that person seems like they know what they're doing or talking about. It is only after having spent a bit of time next to the practical leader that a newbie considers the leader an icon the next time he sees them. Basic behavioral observations. Trust.
utility workers to break into homes.
To see how easy it would be, we're sending out Inside Edition safety expert Steve Cardian, equipped with a hard hat, a vest, and a clipboard, to this neighborhood in Westchester, New York.
He went knocking on doors, posing as a utility worker for the Water Commission.
I'm with the Water Commission. I'm with the Water Commission.
But actually, there's no such thing as the Water Commission. The agency doesn't exist. Watching in a car with me out front is Officer Jonathan Cromwell with the Mount Pleasant Police Department.
Hi, how are you today, ma'am?
Good.
I'm with the Water Commission. We're checking on the water pressure. Would you mind if I come in and check your water pressure?
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This elderly woman also opened the door without thinking twice.
Oh my goodness.
We've had some major water pressure problems here, and I was wondering if I could come in.
So you actually thought, though, that he looked convincing?
Oh, absolutely. But most people are trusting.
There was definitely more of an authority when I was wearing my high vis. A high vis is a powerful jacket. You can't stand here at the moment. If you mind moving to the side, that would be great. Yeah. Sorry, you can't stand here. People have to be moving.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thank you very much. Great. Sorry, we can't have prams go through the main area. If you just don't mind going down the side. Yeah. So we have a very strict backpack policy here. If you can just hold it in your hand, that would be great.
All right.
Thanks. I just have to check that everyone's got their backpacks off before you go.
Okay. Yeah, buddy. Just swap us through, will you, champion? Thank you. Wife, how's your day? Yeah, all right, thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
The experiment requires you continue, teacher. Please continue.
Participants didn't know that the learner was really an actor and the so-called sharks harmless.
You're gonna get a shock, 180 volts.
I can't stand the pain. Let me out of
Can't stand it. I'm not gonna kill that man there. I mean, who's gonna take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman? I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please. All right, next one, slow. Walk, dance, truck, music.
Two-thirds of volunteers were prepared to administer a potentially fatal electric shock when encouraged to do so by what they perceived as a legitimate authority figure. In this case, a man in a white coat.
As long as you're confident in your appearance and seem like you know what you're doing, it is human nature for the majority of people to naturally trust you in what you say, and even more so if you have a high rank. So why am I telling you about this? I simply wish to point out the fact that the newbies in this game are innocent new players in this vast, complex game, and most of them will trust you if you just act confident enough. Though exceptions to this rule always exist, of course. This knowledge can be and has been used in the past, unfortunately, by people with malicious intents. However, thankfully in this game, just like in real life, most of the people you meet have good intentions. Basic behavioral observations. Newbie versus veteran demeanor. Speaking of confidence, let's continue our analysis to see how a veteran, in this case me, reacts differently to the dangers encountered compared to a newbie. In this video clip example, I, as the veteran, know all about the behavior of how the enemy tank is going to probably react or overextend itself, and can guess its hit points based on what's happening. The newbie, however, does not benefit from your knowledge, unless Elon Musk's brain chip becomes a reality, I suppose. And he will see a big scary armored vehicle moving towards them, and of course they just think, oh shit, usually.
There's three tanks, fuck.
Don't run away, you're preventing them moving up. Just hold your ground, they are scared of infantry, remember that. The tanks are fucking useless if it's against infantry in trenches. See, right now he's in Igni range. If I had a fucking Igni, I would just blast him immediately. He's almost disabled. He's disabled. And you see, just like that.
Oh, I see.
Don't be afraid of him. Just focus on killing their infantry and let the tanks do the job.
Okay.
And if you fight an Igni, and if it's moving stupidly close like that, just shoot it.
Alright.
Now, of course, I'm not suggesting to compare Foxhole 2 in real life, because in real life I will probably be shitting my pants alongside you, who knows. Now, let's compare what we saw with 2 examples of how an ordinary veteran fights in this game to show the difference in behavior.
Ah mais d'accord, tu reconnais.
C'était une distraction. Now, let's compare that to 3 years ago, when I was also a Lance Corporal, just as the guy we saw previously, and let's see how I reacted to a similar armored threat as seen before.
Position, boys.
We got VC!
VC on bridge, VC on bridge.
Hold the line, we have the barricade. Don't let them push. Go back, go back. You can't move.
Oh shit! All right.
Hey, you got your buddy with you still?
And there is absolutely no shame in that, as we have all been there. But to reiterate, acting like you know what you're doing, even if you do not, like in this clip, gets people to follow you sometimes into enemy gun nests with a single rifleman killing all of you.
Behind this whole thing's around him. We're gonna protect Cockface.
He is our super.
Alright.
He is our superior.
Okay, wait, I'm Mr. D.
Listen,
D's
wanker.
face, right? As you would imagine.
We're gonna do a turtle. We have to turtle around Cockface. Oh god! Gun nest.
Oh shit!
In the nest, in the nest, in the nest. Save me! Help!
I have
Please don't shoot us! Oh shit, it was an AI bunker, dude.
You
No!
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Oh no!
Oh god, Cockface! I'll see you on the
Come
other
die around
side.
me, you fuckers!
No, St. John, why'd you kill him, you fuck?
No, I tried to save.
All in all, I think that those few clips that I showed you demonstrated the Newbie versus veteran demeanor pretty well in Foxhole, and that the keyword for chapter 1 would definitely be confidence, as we can see that a veteran usually will only need basic group cohesion with others to be effective in his task, whereas the newbie generally won't be as effective on their own. This is all being tied to the lack of knowledge about the mechanics about the game, but also something about the L.S.P, the concept of the last save point. This will be further explored in chapter 4. Language. While language may probably not have been the second thing that jumped to your mind when I talked about what makes for a good leader in the introduction, do think about it, as it also plays an important role, especially in this game where you can have different clans or regiments composed from people all over the world. To make you understand the scale of it, off the top of my head, here are a few examples from my knowledge of the colonial side. KSR/MAD are for mostly Polish people, then you got CLG/HER for the Frenchmen French speaking, you got JGF, Jäger Force for the German speaking, you got 4/4 Motorized for the Russian speakers, Italy for the Italians, PARS for the Turkish speakers, and 7HP for the Spaniards. In the US you can find the 1CMD, which has mostly Americans I do believe, UBG for the Brazilian Portuguese, and lastly in Asia there is SAF for the Singaporeans, and CGC are the Chinese. And now of course you have tons of clans/regiments that have English as their main language, but encompass people from all over the world, such as UCF, CSO, SOM, EG, 1, WL, the Supply Rats, the 77th, the 141st, Kane, Raid, ECH, T3C, Vox, Nix, and many, many more that I either forgot or do not know enough about to include them in here. So, why did I just get paid to mention all of these people? Well, we are complex in our human nature, but also our prehistoric grug roots make us actually very simple in nature. Where just like in any country on earth, you will usually be respected by most strangers if, when you try to talk to them, if you don't know their language, instead of immediately talking English in their country, you simply say bonjour monsieur, guten tag, privyet, ni hao, hola senor, and as much as you can after that. Even if it's broken words, it shows that you show respect to them by at least trying. So grog brain will, in most people, will go, ooh, they speak my language, me groggy a bit. He good grog, me try to help with what grog want. But the most important thing, that it should help to diffuse situations that would otherwise end in needless conflict. In Foxhole, due to the tense moments of all your grind getting destroyed or messed with, conflicts between players and regiments happen quite frequently. That or a language barrier can create hostility and add oil to the fire. I mean, Reddit has new drama published every week from various dumb events that happen in the game. Yes, some people will be legitimate trolls, but in my experience, lots of moments could have just been diffused with just a translator present or some basic words exchanged.
Let me come talk with you. Why are you ignoring
Sean,
me
what are you guys
when I try to join your squad?
It's useless
Okay,
to come
why are
into
you in
squad.
my Twitch chat trolling with the
I was not logged on. I was not logged on the game. Someone told me.
Another example I have is from me from an old clip where a Russian player and his buddy were destroying a howitzer battery because due to their low ranks, they did not understand that we needed to fire them all together non-stop to actually be able to kill the town hall. I tell one of them very politely in his language, please, no my friend, please no. And they go away. Dude, no, let me explain to you. Нет, мой друг. Пожалуйста, нет.
No.
What the fuck?
What? It helps to speak a little bit of Russian.
I've never seen this side of you, cockmaster. Yeah, what the fuck?
The ability to redirect players. A good leader/commander in the field should have enough situational awareness to recognize when he gets his people overextended or flanked, and to get people to relocate themselves into another base if needed. In my own experience, I have found that nothing works better to get the average newbie's attention than to get a party truck or bus going, explain them briefly where they should hop in, blast party music, and make them set their spot at a new location. Have an example. I mean, if you're a newbie, or even a vet, who wouldn't want to jump on that bus to get to the front? The ability to redirect players, however, also comes into play when keeping formations when you are the commander of multiple tanks, as tanks fight the best when used in line formations, with each tank being able to cover each other's weaknesses. I will not go into too much detail about the subject, however, as it would honestly warrant a video of its own, and as it is a bit more reliant on actual game knowledge rather than leadership, which is not the main subject of this video. Though I will say that the more tanks there are, the more difficult it becomes to manage, as voice chat becomes chaotic, a strong authoritative figure becomes needed to keep your orders clear and precise. At the same time, you have to ask every tank periodically what is their ammo and fuel status, and try to stay in the center of the formation for maximum voice chat range. Maybe a proper video could be done about it someday if I get proper footage for it, as I can remember many things at the end of this game, but I do not remember to hit the record button in the moment when it actually matters. Active moral upkeep, getting the job done, and the L.S.P. Now, let's get to the big subject here, folks. Active moral upkeep can be tons of different things that you can do, but bear with me folks, as a lot has to be said here. Morale is a big factor on any front. They get the people to keep pushing towards what needs to be done. Again, what needs to be done has a broad meaning because it could be anything from getting them to change to charge a position, stay next to the tanks, or just simply encourage them to keep respawning / playing. When possible, in a frontline situation, you should be the shining example for your teammates and be leading at the very front, just behind 3-4 soldiers. After all, why should they be scared if they see the guy with experience, calmly yet authoritatively giving orders and explaining the situation as it unfolds right next to them? This is active moral upkeep. This involves putting yourself in their shoes back when you were also just a clueless newbie. But above all, it is about respect, as you must transmit respect to your fellow soldiers, and the respect will be naturally thrown back at you. Now, when you sooner or later die, you have to wait to respawn, and this is a temporary loss of cohesion and hurts morale ever so slightly. So to ensure that this effect is minimalized, remind those around you of just a few walking BMATs that they represent. Give them a clear objective to do. It can be as simple as cover the flank of the tanks from the enemy infantry, stay next to them, and even the private will know that I must stay next to the tanks. Even if you will probably not manage to kill multiple wardens, he is still contributing a lot more than just sitting behind the tanks. The exceptions to this rule are when you are being a medic or a tank / vehicle commander, for example. I will keep myself out of immediate danger to keep my strategic asset alive, yet...
How do you get guys to close with the enemy?
While you're not able to show the example. Well, we first need to talk about theory before we can talk about the video clip example I have in order to be able to overcome the theoretic problem. So, take it away, Lindy.
There is this concept of the L.S.P, the last safe position or point or place. And this is the point at which a certain equation balances. So imagine you are here, this is your starting position, and you have to get to here to take the position off the enemy. And there are various forces that carry you in that direction. You've been given orders, you're hearing the trumpets blare, and you've been trained loads of times. When the trumpet plays that thing, you go forward, so you associate that with going forwards. Okay, I'm going forwards, and all your mates are going forwards, and they're shouting, forwards, like that. You see, so, okay, right, forwards, and forwards you go, dum-da-dum-da-dum, and so you're carrying forwards, following orders, everything's great. You have the leadership, people have told you, given you definite orders to go forwards, and you've got the cohesion with the guys around you. Yes, let's go forwards. Okay, so you go forwards, and then there are forces that force you in this direction, or at least to come to a halt, and they involve that the enemy is really big and scary and has guns and don't have your best interests at heart, and it's really dangerous to get close to them. And there is a point at which the equation balances, and that's when troops tend to come to a halt. And it seems that if troops have got, say, spears, that the L.S.P might be about 5 yards, which is just outside spear range. If in the musket era, it was perhaps 20 yards. And there are loads of accounts of musket fights, even in buildings and so forth, with guys firing muskets with dirty great big bayonets on the end, but then not charging in, and instead frantically reloading their muskets. I don't want to go over there, they've got bayonets. Yeah, but if you stand where you are, you're more likely to be shot. And if you charge over there, they're very likely to run away. But it's very difficult to get guys to close with the enemy.
So pretty much the problem is to actually get your team to charge ahead, as taking the objective by itself is the easiest part once enough people actually do push. Let's take this concept now and analyze my clip where I am one of the only medics on the field, but I am also currently leading a charge. My eyes are immediately drawn to Shander, who is a lieutenant and so knows how meaningless his respawn value is. Break the L.S.P and charge into the trench alongside Murdoch, who is just one rank below him. Note that I do not count the Sergeant Chichi, who is visibly stuck in the L.S.P and is currently just taking pot shots with inaccurate fire, where he would be killed if it wasn't for Shander and Murdoch charging the trench. Note that after those pot shots he takes at the wardens, he will retreat slightly. Keep pushing, guys. He's already in the next trench. Keep pushing. Get to the next trench, lads. In saying that, my goal is to break the L.S.P fright in adding an additional force, driving them forward, by making them realize that some people already made it into the next position, and so can you. Now let's see what happens after.
Yeah, listen to Cock. Listen to what Cock says.
Only go back if you need medical. Right now you're making our fucking tanks run away.
Step back. Forward.
I remind them that they, being puny little flesh creatures running around, are actually making monsters of steel backing up more and more, as the tanks can't really do anything without the infantry support. As an added bonus, I have a random guy deciding to relay my order in telling people to listen to me, which is always good to get and which further increases my authority in the subconsciousness of the others around. I then can already see people behind the shooters not really doing anything, so again, to keep the momentum going, I waste no time in assigning an objective that is so close that even this complete newbie private here breaks the L.S.P to go for the reachable objective. Next to him we will see a vet shadow dancing in the open, knowing that it's just a few wardens to overcome and most likely also a knowledge of the logistics costs. Next line over there. Next line northeast. Get to that line, guys. Next line northeast, guys. Get to that line northeast. Our friendly tanks then proceed to use the breeding room created by the infantry to be able to establish a solid dominance over the area. And in turn, I will reassure them by securing the weak northeast flank from infantry charges. Secure the flank of the tanks, guys. Get northeast as well. Get northeast as well, guys. Secure the flank of the tanks. We now see Chi-Chi here again, this time break his L.S.P in order to take the objective. Most likely encouraged by the friendly tank presence and me just behind them being confident and calm. And if you remember what we just said earlier about respect being thrown at each other, you should proceed to thank your fellow soldiers for listening to you. There you go. Good. Squad over here, squad over there. Very good, nice.
Tanks, tanks, tanks.
And even if the next person speaking said tanks, tanks, tanks instead of thanks, 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 it doesn't matter because subconsciously the words still came true. For the next follow-up clip, I won't be interrupting until something new comes, but you now will be able to see the patterns develop on your own. Oh, infantry, come on, lads, move up to the next line. You've got nothing to do here apart from getting healed. Keep pushing, guys. If you guys push, the tanks can push. If you guys push, the tanks can push. It's as simple as that, guys.
Fuck, they're hit!
I got any fucking ammo.
Right, I need someone with a wrench. Anyone with a wrench? There's all this shit here that needs to be wrenched now for the tanks. If you guys find a wrench, let me know. This indirectly implies that if you do not have the courage to do it, I will do it myself. Let's look at this Warding's effect.
My boys.
There we go, one wrench is doing it, two wrenches. I protect them.
Exactly.
Just stand there and protect them, guys. That's all you need to do, to clear the way for the tanks.
Ah, mortars!
I got you, I got you, I got you. Just keep going.
I'll
keep going. Keep going.
Don't stand on top.
In some situations, calling people some types of insults, so long as it breaks them out of the L.S.P, also works, in the same way that "come on you apes, do you wanna live forever?" is remembered and used by many. Alternatively, calling people by their names helps to break the bystander effect, and also to get them moving with the added bonus of at the same time also instilling a sense of respect towards them. In this clip example where the objective was to keep the bridge down, the wardens had pushed us back and almost had finished building the bridge, so a swift leadership intervention was needed. I will completely disregard my own safety to push the L.S.P as far up as I can, acting as a mobile objective for them to support me, and tell them repeatedly to push to keep the momentum going as soon as I see anyone stopping their trenches, and then apply the insult. Get in the tank, get in the tank, Chris, get in the tank. Push, 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 guys, push, 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 everyone push, everyone push, everyone push, kill the blueprint, kill the blueprint. Just push and kill the blueprint, push and kill the blueprint. Push, everyone push, everyone push, everyone push, everyone push. Don't fucking stay behind, push, 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 push.
Forward. Oh fuck, there's a guy.
Let's fucking push! Fucking push, you pussies! Push!
Fix your tank.
With the goal of getting back to the bridge achieved, I now focus their attention on shooting the blueprint, which is an objective that is right in front of them, and so is by far within their ability to accomplish. Kill the blueprint! Kill the fucking blueprint! Kill the- shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot the blueprint! Shoot the blueprint!
Shoot that shit, shoot that shit. Any ammo? No ammo.
No ammo.
Shoot the fucking blueprint! Shoot the fucking blueprint! There you go. There we go. Good shit, guys. Just like that, and like the first clip where I was a medic, you can see that the wardens got overwhelmed as soon as the infantry pushed in unison. So, we can learn together with what we have seen in chapter 1 and in this chapter that teaching your men not to be afraid of dying to accomplish the objective, by whichever way you choose, will get you battles won in Foxhole and is the hardest thing to actually manage to accomplish. Chapter 5. Passive Moral Upkeep. Passive moral upkeep to me is when you're not fighting, but still want to get people to do important work while also getting them to have a good time. Let's start with building. Building in Foxhole is usually a chore, and many people consider that in logistics to be a second real-life job, but it can get actually quite enjoyable, as shown in the next two clips.
Got like 4 people on that thing. Taking 5. 3 doesn't.
At the party right here.
Well, let me have a rule and a saw and a board and I'll cut it.
Is that the fucking house building song? Yes!
Well, we worked so hard to
That's
build
the
a
fucking
little
best
house
song
together.
The power of playing music though doesn't stop there, as doing so in this next clip keeps the previously discussed L.S.P, this time in a non-combat situation, steadily going forward instead of the commander having to talk.
Empty medical supplies in the bag. Hey, link up with us, Private.
Weapons for 20 minutes.
Alright.
Doing so in a construction vehicle which is on its way to build an objective is also a good passive moral influence, as seen here.
Nice music, man. Very climactic.
The influence of music being a result of our cave ancestors and past civilizations yet again, as tribes used music to commemorate events and celebrate, but battle marches also existed. Hell, just take a look at the world's anthems. The French anthem is literally about killing people in the bloody trenches during the Revolution. just as one example. For logistics, a lot of players have music playing in their headphones, and while you wouldn't really technically class it as a passive moral upkeep, if you really think about it, it actually is a passive moral upkeep. Just remember that even if you do end up being muted by 1 or 2 people for playing music, it ultimately does not matter, as chances are you will not see those people again in the future anyway, and that the positive moral aura you created vastly outperforms any kind of negative effects. Just make sure that the volume isn't cranked to maximum, and that you stop the music when an operation or battle is underway, as cohesion from the leader is needed. Now, let's move on from music and let's have a look at a bad example of passive moral upkeep, coming from me 2.5 years ago, and can happen with anyone as nobody is perfect. The context here being that, if I recall correctly, there was a server bug which made the colonials not be able to defend the previous town. So we lost it, retook it, and took this relic base after a few more hours of fighting and encircling it, where I was tense and people, I do believe, were just faffing around while we were close to running a lot of respawns. Retards, the entire push is compromised if we run our fucking shirts, and you guys are just bickering like fucking idiots. Immediately, this does get the attention of everyone, yes, but in the majority of people, especially those who wouldn't understand why the situation is dire, being called a retard who is responsible for the world's winning would just make them immediately ignore you.
Calm down. I aren't even doing anything, just sitting here idling.
Then we can see a perfect example here of Rosa talking and then representing the people who have just arrived and completely do not know what's happening. The Wardens had fucking abandoned war due to a fucking glitch in 20 minutes and we have to surround the entire fucking region, so if this entire fucking op fails because of a bunch of fucking stupid children, then they fucking tank you.
Okay man, that's enough. That's too over the top.
And instead of properly and calmly explaining the urgency, I am just adding more insults to the fire, and predictably get muted by some people.
Yeah, take it down a couple
I don't give a shit, man. We spent too many fucking resources here. You can mute me if you want, I don't give a shit. I speak facts. Whether you like it or not.
Scheiße!
That's just...
Oh, you speak French.
Du bist ein Auslander!
Then, of course, they make fun of me or insult me because I did not give them basic respect. So why would they show any kind of respect back towards me? This is followed by me audibly calming down after the outburst, and then doing something actually very good that should be done whenever you can do to further increase cohesion, involvement in the task, and respect towards you. Whoever's helping me build right now here have 3 commands.
I'll take 3 commands.
Yeah, you two, you held the body, sure. Just in a less after stress sort of way, let's put it like that. Lastly, we can find casual banter and silly remarks being also effective in keeping morale up and can resolve some stress buildup.
Get those fucking turrets set up.
Duke, how big is your penis? I believe in you.
Keep building! Keep building! I'll shoot you! Keep building! Keep...
Oh!
Who are you talking to with that tongue, bro?
A staff sergeant.
Is your mom with that mouth?
Guys, there's obviously sexual tension. Yeah, please get a room in case.
Come here, King. Come on.
Oh, you're the best.
I feel like this light tank's going to explode.
Watch your fire, watch your fire. Don't kill your commanding officer. This is not Vietnam where you can accidentally frag him.
Jesus Christ. Fuck me, it's like 2 sections here.
Yo, fuck me. Oh,
yeah, holy shit.
No, fuck me!
Oh, fuck me, mate.
Fuck me,
oh, fuck me, we're being shot at.
Well, that man's
holy shit!
Get back up.
I just got fucking obliterated.
applying what we have learned here to a pre-planned operation. Good luck everyone, and God bless you. Good luck in the
From the side, so you won't glitch. Stay at the center.
340. If not,
because sea travel can be so glitchy.
This is me in December of 2019 as a lowly staff sergeant leading my first ever proper operation. In this 6th and final chapter, we will try to apply what we have learned here during the last 40 minutes that we spent together. But instead of it being a random unplanned moment of leadership, this time we will take a look at an actual planned operation and see why my first ever operation ended in failure. This simple fort building operation being an excellent case study to which we can apply our newfound knowledge onto, as we will be able to directly observe and comment on my early mistakes done while leading the troops. I wish to also remind you of the lessons in chapter 1, in which we went over the lack of knowledge that newbies demonstrated in Demeanor. However, you being a new player in no way means that you cannot lead as a lower rank. So long as you wish to make a positive difference, you will inspire the people around you to listen to you. Now, you will probably have your operations failed or countered easily by the enemy, but at least you will try and thus learn from the events.
This is actually the coolest thing I've been a part of since I started playing it.
Yeah. And this is the coolest thing I've been able to command.
Is the best thing I've probably been in a good 3 or 4 months at this point.
Right away, we can see that the morale is high and thus will not be a problem for this operation.
Shite, are we attacking from the north or the south?
We're attacking from where the observation tower, oh wait, no, there's 2 beaches, yeah.
I'd say North Beach is closer.
North Beach? Yeah, let's go North Beach.
North Beach, I'd say it's closer, and I think it's bigger.
North Beach, everyone. However, a lack of a clear plan to follow is present. Even though everyone in the operation knows that the objective is to build the Krachwoods fort for the colonials, you have to remember that in order to accomplish a big objective, you, as the leader, must break down the big objective into small reachable and realistic objectives for the men to follow along. Otherwise, you will suffer cohesion loss, both from troops hesitating to advance in the face of enemy gunfire, but also from the lack of simple directions to follow. Looking back at it with today's perspective, I would choose and mark a specific location to land onto before we depart, as well as calmly explain and make sure that everyone involved in the plan understands what there is to do in order to keep group cohesion strong, as well as give precise targets and objectives to do. For example, destroy the observation bunker, then destroy the fort in second. There are more things to talk about in the pre-planning phase, but I will mention those as the video progresses.
Just blows up too.
Okay lads, we are arriving at destination, prepare yourselves. When you arrive, clear the sector, spread out and clear the area.
Oh, the enemy's like...
Protect the CV, the CV is a priority target. Saying this gives the soldiers a task to do that is close to them and easy to follow, and the newbie now knows that the construction vehicle should be protected in priority.
Alright, get ready boys.
Gunships, give space to each other.
Okay, go. Disperse.
Let's go on
protect the CV.
Okay.
Secure the perimeter.
One squad, move up to the east. Alright, stay all about there. The other ones go with me. This, however, is very indecisive, as operating on a per volunteer basis just does not work, especially in the middle of a planned operation. In chapter 4, I briefly commented that there exists the bystander effect, which means that unless I personally assign the names to a direction for them to go to with a task, they will all stay together with me due to hesitation. We're gonna go to the town hall and the observation tower and see the fort, and see what's up.
Get your heads down.
We'll protect the CV.
I'm protecting the CV with you.
What we want, Lieutenant, is the squad 2. He's gonna head east. So go with him if you wanna head east. I'm gonna protect the CV for my squad. I will try to reaffirm the need to head east, But again, because I didn't personally assign anyone, the people will default to following me instead.
I'm with you, Cap.
Who is the assigned medic here?
Me.
I'm a medic.
Do we have a ranch?
Okay, good.
This medic assignment issue really should have been determined before taking off, and should have been known by everyone, as it is an important role.
Oh crap, did anyone remember shirts?
Nope.
We'll be
We
fine.
don't have shit.
We'll be fine. We can just run a barge back and get a supply truck there. Train.
We could drive that
Let's just get the
ship.
fort up.
So who's got beat?
Set up a premise.
Can't relaunch landing ships.
Yeah,
They
set
are
up the
one-time
perimeter.
things.
Yeah, that.
Someone get in this foxhole.
Okay, wait. Do we have the BMATs?
Binoculars. Nope. I need someone with a binocular.
Did nobody
who
bring
was here on
BMATs?
crash? People on crash said they had 340
Yeah, they said that
beforehand.
340.
That's what I was planning on them having.
Come with me.
For this one, I am actually pretty split if this is a leadership issue or a game knowledge issue. As yes, you didn't really think of that because you lacked the experience, but at the same time, this should be again something that should be cleared before leaving. The person in the CV, however, tells quietly the people around him to set up a perimeter. But this should really be the leader's job, and if you wish to have optimal coverage, try to assign people by name to look in the various cardinal directions for the duration of the build.
Can we get a group of 2 to go back to Conclave to the landing ship and start taking out shirts to put on a barge? We're gonna need the shirts for the fort.
Yeah, I'm gonna coordinate this in a second. Hold on, just unlocking all these trucks, see what's inside.
this car.
Here we see the inability of the inexperienced leader to be able to handle 2 issues at once, in a non-combat situation as well. For comparison, nowadays I can coordinate Logi and a tank line at the front at the same time, while also answering to randoms in local chat. We then proceeded to retry the following night, this time however with the necessary supplies.
Alright, gunboats ready, we are moving.
Gunboats ready. Gunboats, take out the observation tower. Barges, wait a little bit. Barge, wait a little bit. Wait until observation tower is destroyed. Gunboats, we're waiting on you.
Just Vader, you don't have to spot right now. It doesn't matter. Just someone hop in so we can move. Okay, let's go. We'll sort out who's gunning when we get there.
Roles and who does what should be defined before you leave, not on the fly.
Open fire. Alright, move back.
Oh, that is an enemy barge. Oh shit! That is an enemy barge. Okay, operation is a go. Operation is a go.
The operation is a go indeed. It is now a crucial moment where cohesion gets lost very fast. What is needed the most right now are some instructions to each barge on what to do, as even if they were given a clear objective in the pre-planning, repeating their pre-planned orders helps to remove any doubt for them on what they need to do, and is a helping factor in driving the L.S.P forwards.
16.
Fire.
Right down, distance high road.
Full speed ahead to the beach. Where my mark is. Full speed ahead.
What does spring out to me though when I see newbie naval invasions and compare them to veteran invasions, it's that the newbie leaders would not know when to cancel an operation. They will always go for it, no matter if they have been spotted and the alarm has been sounded. In Foxhole, naval invasions will always, 99% of the time, fail if you're already shot at before landing at the beach. But let's see how the landing unfolds now.
Did the other gunboat fire?
Where are you?
Did the other gunboat fire, yes or no?
We don't know.
Enemy barges randoming me out of the convoy.
Other gunboats, keep moving forward. Yes,
we're about to hit the beaches.
Alright, stop.
3 more magazine.
Fire. Now we will fire.
We did not.
We didn't.
Wall landing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Disembark! Disembark! Go, 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 go!
We can observe that the player Argentum here is currently suffering from the L.S.P effect and is blocking his teammates because of it. It is only when he is told to move afterwards that he breaks his L.S.P.
27.
Surprise attack!
Direct hit, direct hit.
Thank you. Medic.
No, it's still out.
Land.
Second.
Land.
Gunboat. Fire a bit left. Fire a bit left. Second.
Okay, spread out. Enemy, kill the fucking warden. Kill the fucking warden.
2.
In the barge. There's a guy in the barge right next to us.
He's dead.
Okay, good.
I shot him.
The improper call-out from the leader has the result that the team has no clue as to which warden he is referring to, and not a cardinal direction was provided to them. Again, we are not all wearing Elon Musk brain chips yet, so there is no reason to get frustrated at your troops for it. However, the urgency of the situation will finally get me to shift into second gear, which is what the soldiers need.
Okay, they definitely know we're here. We need to act fast. Okay, get the CV. Get the CV off the barge.
Second gunboat. Fire a bit left. You are missing every your shots. Alright, keep firing.
I'm repairing the truck right now.
CV's taking shots.
Oh, okay, stop.
Cover the CV, cover the CV. Cover the CV.
Cover the CV.
Cover the CV with your bloody bodies.
91, 91 meter, Azim 45.
In material terms, sorry about that.
CV's disabled.
Direct hit.
It's okay, we can repair it.
As long as it doesn't die, we can repair it. As long as someone brought a bloody hammer.
No,
I have one.
still up.
I'm repairing it, hold on. Get out the way, Cross. Move.
Wait, hold your fire. Second gunboat, open fire. First gunboat.
TV's on fire.
Alright, second
Repair the
gunboat.
CV, repair the CV.
Rise your cannon a bit up.
Stevie's
Now
taking
fire.
fire, CV's taking fire.
Nice,
Good,
direct
it's
hit.
down.
Alright.
We help
Medic,
with the beach.
medic
With
at the beach.
beach.
No, they destroyed the CV.
The CV was lost due to the inexperience of everyone not knowing how to react to some riflemen in the dark, but it was also lost due to a lot of inaction from me, the leader, not telling them to follow me and charge in front of the CV to save it. We then have to leave the area, and you will notice that the lieutenant proceeds to take over due to my inaction by repeating to everyone to break all contact off and leave.
Get in. If you don't get in the next 5 seconds, I'm leaving.
Get in the barge, get in the barge. Get in the truck, get in the barge or the truck.
Drive it back to Conclave. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Go, leave.
Tank, get in the driver's seat. Move. That's artillery. Other gunboat, return back to Conclave. We're gonna pick up another CV, we're gonna head out.
Jesus Christ.
There's enemy in front.
Not that hard. Move back to Conclave, ignore all contact.
Roger that.
As you can see, the difference is pretty big between my style of leading shown here and what you saw in the earlier chapters. Still, do you think I am just being too harsh on my past self? It is possible, but the purpose of this video is to learn as much as we can. Conclusion? Should you become that good leader? Speaking of learning as much as we can, I certainly do hope this essay/analysis has been helpful to you in general, dear viewer, and that you understood at least part of what I'm finding such difficulty conveying in words, as I find that some of the effects that I talked about today do also apply very well in real life. Everyone in life benefits from a mentor or a figurehead to look up to for guidance. In Foxhole, this benefits directly translates into battles won and memories made. So, should you become that figurehead or good leader? Not everybody is made for it, and not everybody wants to do it. Some just prefer to follow, and even I sometimes just prefer to be silent. It is perfectly normal. I do, however, have many fond memories throughout the 3+ years now while leading, and it has certainly been a long road since then. You have to remember in the end though that Foxhole is all about the cooperation and teamwork of everyone involved if you wish to live those epic moments for yourself. With all of this said, I wish to thank you very much for watching, and I am looking very much forward to reading your diverse reactions on this, and I will now be leaving you with a parting compilation of moments of teamwork in Foxhole to hopefully get you further interested in becoming a good leader. This has been Colonel Cockface, signing out. On my command? On my command?
Hold. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yup.
Ready. Everybody get ready to charge, no matter if you're in the comrade squad or not.
Wait.
All fire now.
Ready?
Wow.
Directly north, charge it, go guys, go.
Charge, go.
Push, everyone push. Everyone push.
Oh shit. Light them up. Oh my god.
We fail!
Shoot your shit, guys, shoot your fucking shit, push.
All the other maps are doing
Fucking.
Keep moving.
Firing.
Go. Just gotta push now.
Fire.
Woo! Double S is coming through, guys.
Holy shit, look at the sound.
Go!
Fire. Fuck him up. Throw, guys, throw.
You're good, man. Oh, the base is on fire now. Oh, shit!
Oh, no.
Come on, kill the light tank before we die.
No, don't shoot it, Oh my god.
Holy shit. Alright, it's dead. Good job. Dead.
Yeah, fuck yeah, boys.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, boys.